See you. Well, the administration really needs to stop all this reckless spending. Democrats have spent nearly $4 trillion since Biden took office. Here to talk about it is Missouri Congressman Jason Smith. He is the ranking member of the House Budget Committee. Good to see you again, Congressman. You know, we saw exactly the same thing happen during the Obama era of green energy projects where not only did we see a lot of extraneous spending and contractors who didn't fit the union label were kicked out of all the bidding process, and then we ended up with a lot of roads to nowhere. I mean, it just seems like a redux of all that.
You know, the policies of the Biden administration and the one-party Democrat rule in Washington has been focused on one central theme, and that is to reward their political buddies, their friends, allies, and donors. And that's exactly what they did with the American Rescue Plan that spent $2 trillion that was supposed to go to defeat COVID, but less than 9% went towards defeating COVID and shots in people's arm. The other 91% went towards rewarding their political friends. We saw that again just this past week with passage of the quote, Inflation Reduction Act, which is everything but reducing inflation. That once again rewards their political friends, allies, and donors. That's what one-party Democrat rule in Washington's doing. It's rewarding all of their good, big, wealthy environmentalists and all their union donors.
And it goes back to an old, Milton Friedman used to say, you know, if you pay for something with your own money, you care about the cost and the quality. If you pay for something with somebody else's money, you don't care about either the quality or the cost. So what you end up with is you know, a half-decent project spending 4 times as much as you would for a good project.
That's exactly how it is. It's unfortunate. Just under this administration, they don't care about how they misuse and spend the hardworking American tax dollars. In fact, since Joe Biden has become office, the Congressional Budget Office has scored that he has now cost the American taxpayers $9 trillion of new spending over the next 10 years just because of his policies and his actions. Joe Biden loves spending the taxpayer dollars, but he doesn't like to spend his own.
And you know, the money issue is bad enough. There's also the question of supersizing these government bureaucracies, and that's legacy spending that we're getting into. A lot of the COVID relief bills that were passed during the Trump administration, frankly, I thought that was too much money too, but a lot of that was for emergency use, and it sunsetted out. This is stuff that's going to be growing for years and years to come. We put together a wonderful graphic called the Green New Deal ATM, and you think of a 6-fold increase in the IRS. We know a lot about that, but also a 6-fold increase in the EPA. You also have this, or in the Department of Energy, you also have the EPA's new climate bank, which is $27 billion. You're creating new bureaucracies that will go on forever.
Once you squeeze the toothpaste out of the container, it's very difficult to get it back in. You know that. We've seen that. Once government grows, it's difficult to decrease it. That $27 billion for a climate slush fund for the EPA is a disaster. That is 3 times the amount of annual spending that the EPA gets every year. And now they have a slush fund of $27 billion so that they can just reward their political cronies, their buddies, and their wealthy environmentalists. It's nothing more than welfare for wealthy environmentalists. That is what this administration's all about. And who's paying for it? It's the low and middle income. And how? By more audits.
Yeah, and we've seen it everywhere. I mean, Venezuela used to have a pretty good oil company called PDVSA. Until they totally took it over. They put all their political cronies in there, kicked out the experts, kicked out the real engineers. And what used to be pumping 2 million barrels a day is now pumping about 600, 700,000 barrels a day. So the efficiency of everything goes down when it becomes a crony institution. Then you have the question of a command economy. We've often talked about the CHIPS Act, which was $300 billion that, frankly, too many Republican senators signed on to. But again, the idea of the government directing the economy is a better way to go. We know it doesn't work.
It absolutely doesn't. And you can just look at the policies of this administration in the last 18 months. We've seen inflation has rose by 13.7%. Real wages have declined 4.5%, and it's all because of the policies of this administration trying to control the economy and trying to spend trillions of dollars to reward their friends and allies. And it's a disaster. And who's paying for it? Everyone. $5,900 every family is expected to have an inflation tax this year just because of reckless government spending.
Then we have the problem of how empowered these bureaucracies are becoming. We know that the IRS put out that notice, that jobs notice a couple of weeks ago, suggesting that you have to know how to use a gun and use it with the intent of lethal force if necessary. I mean, is now really the time that we want not only a bigger government, but a more strongly enforced government with lethal force?
I'll tell you, Americans are facing every crisis, whether it's the border crisis, inflation crisis, the energy crisis. They want government to fix these issues, not make them worse. The last thing we need to do is to double the size of the IRS with 87,000 new IRS agents. We only have 20,000 Border Patrol officers. 20,000, but more than 3.2 million people have illegally crossed the southern border. And this administration thinks they should double the size of the IRS to go after every hardworking American. It shows their priorities are messed up. They're going to figure that out in November. The American people are watching, and they're not happy with what they're seeing.
No, and the American people can add. They claim it's just a handful of billionaires that are getting away with murder that we want to crack down. You don't need 87,000 auditors to crack down on a handful of people, do you?
Even CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, which is the official scorecard for Congress, said that this proposal is going to target more than a million new audits for families who make less than $200,000 a year. They're not going after the billionaires. They're going after the low and middle income families. And that's what's scary, because those low and middle income families, they don't have the disposable income to hire these overpaid lawyers and accountants to defend them like billionaires do.
Right. By the way, the Joint Economic Committee came to the same conclusion. Their figure was a little less about how much they get from the middle class, but people making under $200,000 are already, and of course, let's not forget, the biggest tax of all that the middle class faces now is inflation. And the whole idea of this being an inflation-fighting bill, how soon before we all discover that inflation is going up, not down?
You know, it's just so telling. When President Biden was given a speech at the Oval Office to sign this awful piece of legislation, he only mentioned reducing inflation one time. The rest of it was talking about all these special items for his wealthy environmentalist donors. We're going to see that this bill is only going to make inflation worse and to last longer for the American people. And that is what's so disturbing.
Congressman Jason Smith, great to see you, sir. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.